Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Salman Zabha. I have completed BSc, MSc, B.Ed and recently I have completed PhD from Sri Govind Guru University, and I have a 7 years of teaching experience in a physics subject as well as NEET and JEE. So today we are going to discuss about and learn about concept of center of mass, that is a very important for a JEE as well as NEET exam. So I am taking this chapter because this is a root of any particle, system of a particle. We must understand that what is a particle, what is a system of a particle, what is a rigid body and what is a center of mass. In a previous chapter we already studied that a point mass. So what is a point mass? If we are talking about the body, in a previous chapter, if we are talking about the body like a pen, like earth, like moon, like whatever planet we have, so we must understand that we should consider a point mass. But in this chapter we will understand that every particle is not considered as a particle, system of a particle. So that is the beauty of this chapter. So now we know what is a system, what is a rigid body. What is a rigid body? Consider I have this pen. So if I applying force on this body, so there are no change in a distance in a body, in a particle. So we should understand that distance between this system of two particles, again distance between system, this is system of two particles remains same is known as a rigid body. So I can't able to, if I applying force here, so you can't able to change this distance is known as a rigid body. So first of all, that's why we have to understand center of mass concept. So consider we have a 1 particle, 2 particle, 3 particle, 4 particle and up to n particle. So how we can calculate equation of that particle? So this is the beauty of this chapter. So far we have learned about the motion of a single object. Single object means here we have to consider a point mass. What is a point mass? If I want to find a length of this particle, then I can't able to measure it. That is a point mass. Alright, this simplification is quite useful for learning in a mechanics, but we have to learn about the translational motion as well as rotational motion. Okay, so this is we have to consider a system of a particle. Alright, so question arise in our mind is that do we then write many equations, one for each particle? Can we write equation, mathematical equation for a one particle? So simple answer is no, big no, because we have to consider system of a particle. If I calculate the mass of all the particle, so we must understand that there should be center of mass. Center of mass we have to find that. All right, so again, is there any simpler way? So that is one kind of beauty of a center of mass. That's why we study center of mass. There are many concepts of this. So consider star as a point mass. Again, star is a big thing, big mass and as well as a big size. So how we can consider a particle? We must understand this concept. Why? If we want to find a center of mass, we must understand that many particles like 1 particle, 2 particle, 3 particle becomes system. All right, so every body, every planet, every pen, every object, classroom or whatever we have, we in a previous chapter we studied, we know it is a point mass, but in this chapter we should understand that a system. Okay, all right, so again star as a point mass. Okay, then moon as a point mass. Again moon has a big size and big mass, still we have to consider a point mass. So that is the beauty of this chapter. Rigid bodies are one in which the separation between the constituent particle does not change with its motion. I already talked about this one. Consider I have this pen, I am applying force here, so distance between particle of this system does not change. But that is one thing is there, if I have this body, I am applying force like this, I can't able to change this position. But suppose I have a hammer and I am applying force here, so it will break. Condition apply there, because there is no perfectly body is a rigid body in this earth, in this universe. So we should also understand that. All right, can water in a bucket be considered a rigid body? Suppose I have a water, so water is like in a liquid form, so you are applying force like this one, so it will move like this, so we cannot consider a rigid body, but this body considered as a rigid body. All right, so now consider cricket ball, a wooden block, and steel disc. All these are, again, this is a rigid body. All right, like something like we have a familiar example of this one. So now center of a mass. So suppose I have this pen, I want to find a center of mass of this pen. How can I calculate? So simple as that. Suppose I have a support of this point. Okay, so I can't able, but if I balance this pen, so where will be located center of mass of this pen? So answer is this one. Okay, this point is a center of mass. Okay, center of mass of this pen. What about my body? It as a somewhere as a center of mass of body. Okay, suppose I have this room, so I have to find if it is a symmetrical distance, if it has a symmetry, so we can find center of mass at a center. So that is again beauty of this chapter. So that's why we study center of a mass. The center of a mass of a distribution of a mass in a space is the unique point where again in this pen, whenever we are consider this case pen, so there was here unique point. Okay, so now, so again this is the example of this one. The center of mass could be located within the object, like if someone a man is standing here, so we have to find there is a somewhere center of mass of this point, something like that. Here it has a center of mass of any object. Okay, the next, so two star of a equal mass. Suppose I have a two star, like it has a, suppose consider that there is 100 kg of mass here and 100 kg of mass here. Where will be center of mass of this particular system? So it should be, center of mass should be here. Why? Because two star of equal mass. All right, second case is consider star 1 is a more massive than star 2. Like when we consider this star 1, star must have a more mass, and star 2 has a less mass than star 1. So we have to consider that center of mass should be lie within the heavy body. Okay, where will be the heavy body? Here. So we should understand that this should be center of mass of this body. Why? Because it has a big mass. Okay, star 1 is a more massive than star 2. So whenever we are talking about the equation, how I can find a center of mass of any object? Consider I have a object, suppose one body is here, another body is here, so it has a mass m1, another body has a mass m2. All right, so positions, consider position r1, position vector r1, another position vector is r2. So how I can calculate center of mass of this object? So again, very simple as that, and this concept is very important for a JEE as well as NEET. So now I want to find a center of mass of this system. Or okay, so now I want to find a center of mass, that is a RCM. Okay, so what is the mass of this object? That is a m1, and position vector of this object, that is a r1, as well as we have a mass m2 as well as r2. Now we have a total mass of this system m1 plus m2, so we can easily find center of mass of this object. Now consider that if mass m1 and m2 are same, so what I can consider here, if m1 and m2 is same, okay, so m1 means m, so m r1 plus m2, it has again same, so m r2 by m1 means m, m2 means m, so there is a 2m, so we can write like m is common here, or r1 plus r2 and 2m. Here we have a center of mass like this one, r1 plus r2 by 2 is a center of mass if mass is same. Okay, so what about x-axis? In a x direction, consider I have a two mass in a x direction, like in a x direction mass m1 and m2, that means your answer should be x1 plus x2 by 2. What about y direction? y1 plus y2 by 2. What about z direction? z1 plus z2 by 2. So here we can easily calculate the center of mass of this object. Suppose I have a system of n particle. Okay, I have a one particle, another particle, 2, 3 up to n. So we should understand that 1 to n particle means here there is a system of n particle. So for suppose that coordinate we have a coordinate system in a x direction. We have a one particle, two particle, three particle, four particle up to n. So we can here easily find here sigma mi xi by m. And if it is in a y direction, that means m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 dot plus up to where? Up to mn yn. So we can write here mi vi divided by total mass of a system of a particle. Okay, and this question, this concept is very important for the JEE as well as NEET. This question is already asked in a JEE. Man, two body of a mass 1 kg and 3 kg have a position vector. Okay, so we have a position vector. So now we are going to solve this question. So consider we have a mass m1, all right. So another mass, that is our m2. Now we are going to solve like this is a position vector of what? This is a r1, position vector r1, and another, that is a position vector r2. So now we have a formula, amazing formula. We already derive this formula as far as concerned. So consider we have a m1 is 1 kg here, and then m2 is 3 kg here. All right, what is the position vector here? r1 is equal to I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap, and another we have a r2 is equal to position vector r2 is equal to minus 3i minus 2j plus k cap. All right, so we have an amazing formula. We have already derived that formula that have RCM is equal to RCM. CM stand for a center of mass. Okay, so now m1 r1 plus m2 r2 by m1 plus m2. This is a basic formula of a center of mass. All right, so now we have a mass of which one? 1 kg. 1 kg is here. And what about r1? R1 we have a value of r1 I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap, and then again we have a value of m2 like 3 kg. And what about r2? We have given this one, so 3i minus 2j plus k cap. All right, so what is the mass of this object like m1 and m2? So 1 plus 3, that is 4. All right, so now 1 into I, that means I cap, and 3 into 3 minus 9 I cap, because this is I coordinate I cap and this is also I cap. So we are adding this vector quantity. So now again 1 into 2, that is a 2j, as well as 3 into 2 minus 6j. Okay, now next 1 into k, so our k cap, and 3 into k plus 3k cap divided by 4. Okay, so now we have a, this is I cap minus 9i, so we can easily write like minus 8 I cap. All right, so 2 minus 6, that is our minus 4j, and here k plus 3k, that means our 4k cap by 4. So 8 by 4 minus 2 minus 4 by 4 minus 1, 4 by 4 1. So we will get a answer of this question. So